Jó, Csaki, kezdek. Dear water polo fans, welcome back once again to the April the 11th pool here in Belgrade. It's getting more and more cloudy here in Belgrade, but still no rain. And we're gonna have very soon the second match today. Actually, it's the first semi-final of the Final 8 tournament of the Land Champions League. And it's gonna be Barceloneta, who had the most impressive record in the group stage, winning 13 matches out of 14 in the group phase. And they will play against the host team, Novi Beograd, last year's finalist, who had that dramatic final against Prodeco, losing that match in the penalty shootout. So the Spanish fans, actually the Catalan fans, are already on the stands, waiting for the start of the game. And of course, the winner will go to the final to be held on Saturday, and the loser will play in the bronze medal match also on Saturday. That's how the teams have arrived to the pool. In the previous 2 years, the final tournament was held, of course, in the indoor pool here at the April 11th pool complex. This time it's in the outdoor pool. This is the team of Novi Beograd, the host team. Both teams full of world-class players, real heroes of water polo. And that's gonna be a really interesting match, for sure. Well, yesterday, Barceloneta defeated Dubrovnik. It was all even at half-time, 5-all between the two, but in the end it was 11-9 for Barceloneta. Novi Beograd defeated Olympiacos in the quarterfinal, 13-11. And now the teams are arriving to the pool. First the team of Barceloneta in front of their enthusiastic supporters, who followed their team to the Serbian capital. Now the host team, Novi Beograd, also arriving to the pool. Here they are, led by the captain, Angelos Vlahopoulos. Well, I wouldn't say there are any favorites in this contest. Anything can happen. Two fantastic teams.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land Champions
Now
League
these teams are bringing
Second
introduced to the
match
crowd
of
here in
tournament,
the April the 11th
semi-final
pool.
between Water Polo Club Zodiac Barceloneta and Water Polo Club Novi Beograd. For Barceloneta will play following players. Captain of the team.
So the captain of
number 10,
Barceloneta, of course, the veteran number 10, Felipe Perone, still one of the best water polo players of the world. Unai Aguirre, who had a sensational performance yesterday in front of the goal in Barceloneta. Martin Famera, Dusan Matkovic, Alberto Munariz, De Toro, Marc Larumbe, Pavinar, the Australian who scored 3 times yesterday, Fran Fernandez, Roger Tahui,
Number 12, Bustos Alejandro.
Unai Biel scoring 3 times, just like Pavinar, Alejandro Bustos and Nick Porter. The second choice goalkeeper, Elvis Fatovic, the coach of the team. And now the host team, Novi Beograd, is being introduced. Their captain, Angelos Vlahopoulos, the Greek.
Number 2,
Radoslav Filipovic in the number 1 cap, Strahinja Rašović, Vasilij Martinovic, then of course the Spanish international of Novi Beograd, Alvaro Granados, scoring 5 times yesterday against Olympiacos. Then Đorđe Vucinic, Duško Pijetlović, Radomir Drašović, Nikola Jakšić, former Champions League winner Miroslav Perković, Dimitrios Kumpakis, Viktor Rašović and
Head coach
João
is
Pedro
Mr.
Fernandes
Gotti
Coimbra,
and assistant
the great
coach,
Brazilian
Mr.
goalkeeper with
Filipe
a
Jorge and Dr.
60.7% save
Referees of the
efficiency
match
yesterday.
are Mr. Margeta and Mr. Om, and
So the
delegates
two
Mr.
referees,
Molinar and Mr. Molnar.
Boris Margeta from Slovenia and Frank Ome from Germany, also ready for the action. So yesterday Pavilar and Bia were the top scorers of Barceloneta, scoring 3 times respectively. Munari scoring twice. Miguel de Toro, the center forward, scoring once against Jug Dubrovnik. Alvaro Granados with a really great performance in front of the goal, scoring 5 times for Novi Beograd against Olympiacos. Radomir Drašović and captain Angelos Vlahopoulos both scoring twice. Here's Elvis Fatovic, the Croatian coach of Barceloneta. And there's the team list of Novi Beograd. So actually this is Novi Beograd's second final 8 and also the second semi-final appearance. Last year they beat Brescia 14-13 in a thriller when Angelos Vlahopoulos scored the game winner 2 seconds before the end of regular time. And since the new format was introduced, Barceloneta made the semis 5 times. They won the Champions League once against Primorje Rijeka of Croatia. That was the first edition played in Barcelona in 2014. But they lost all their other semis. 2015 to Recco, 2018 to Olympiacos, 2019 to Ferencváros, and 2021 to Recco. Regarding the head-to-head record of these two teams, they met last year in the prelims, actually, here in Belgrade. Novi Beograd won 11 goals to 9, while in Barcelona the game was tied, 12 goals apiece. And there's the major difference after those two matches. The Spaniard's top scorer, Alvaro Granados, joined Novi Beograd for this season, and he led the charge in the quarters against Olympiacos with 5 goals, as I mentioned. Well, Živko Gocic, the head coach of Novi Beograd, had his say before the start of this match. Here's Unai Aguirre, the young goalkeeper, only 20 years of age, but already a world champion with the Spanish national team, winning the title in Budapest last year, the FINA World Championships. Now Angelos Vlahopoulos, the captain of Novi Beograd, keeping the team talk. And of course the Serbs try to improve on last year's performance. Once again they try to get through to the final, and this time they would like to keep the gold medal at home. Pretty noisy. Friends from Catalonia coming to support Barceloneta here, the April 11th pool, and here's Boris Margeta, Slovenian referee.
Biće ovdje mnogo važno kakav je učinak golmana, a evo vidimo Alvara Granadosa, nekadašnjeg igrača Barceloneta.
So Alvaro Granados against his former team. That could be a key factor. But Barceloneta, don't forget, only had one loss in this season. So 40 matches in the group phase, one more yesterday in the quarterfinal, and they won 14 out of the 15 encounters in this Champions League season. They finished ahead of Proreco in their group. But they are hungry for more. They desperately want another medal after the gold medal of 2014 on home soil. So the second match is just about to begin today here in the April 11th pool. Number 4 from Novi Beograd, Alvaro Granados against his former team, now in the swim-off already. And he reaches the ball first. Martin Famera from Barceloneta was the opponent in this first contest. Now Novi Beograd had the first possession. Nikola Jakšić, the pass to the center forward, and the clear tackle, no foul. Now Unai Aguirre tries to find a teammate. The first offensive play of Barceloneta. Roberto Munariz gets the call. Larumbe. Famera. Former Slovakian international Martin Famera, who represented Spain, of course, in recent years. Two excellent goalkeeping performances yesterday, so that's another curiosity of this match. Unai Aguirre and João Pedro Fernandes Coimbra. And a pass from Viktor Rašović, and the first exclusion foul. Miroslav Perković was fouled, and Dusan Matković is out now. The Montenegro international out for 20 seconds, and the power play goal for Novi Beograd. That's been a really great power play, and Nikola Jakšić, the former Ferencváros player, takes the lead for Novi Beograd. Played in Belgrade, but not in Novi Beograd, in Partizan. Until 2017, Nikola Jakšić, then signed for Ferencváros and won the Champions League in 2019 with the Hungarians. And 2 years ago he returned to Belgrade, and this time he signed for Novi Beograd. So 1-0 for the Serbs. Larumbe. Perrone, and the fantastic block by the Serbs. The score remains 1-0 for Novi Beograd. Now Coimbra. The pass to captain Vlahopoulos. Drašović. Vlahopoulos. They still have time, 13 seconds for this offensive play. Radomir Drašović. Now only 5 seconds on the clock. And the block this time by the Spaniards. One single goal. Novi Beograd having the narrow lead. Perrone. Larumbe, that's a free throw. Back to Felipe Perrone, who is fouled by Viktor Rašović. Larumbe loses the ball.
Sada lopta
So the Spaniards are still goalless.
malo nervoze u ovoj prvoj četvrtini. Ostaje prednost Novog Beograda iz igrača više. Jakšić je bio strelac tog gola, 1:0 i dalje.
Almost 3 minutes gone.
Izmena sada tamo na sredini terena.
Great support for both teams from the stands.
Maraće se reprezentativac.
Granados.
Crnogorski reprezentativac na mesto centra. Miroslav Perković. Evo ga ponovo u vodu.
5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. So they need to do something. Granados, one more pass. And the last attempt in this offensive play, made by Perković, easily saved by Aguirre. That was save number 1 by Unai Aguirre.
Fenomenalno je odigrao. Nijedna greška, nijedan propust.
Perrone.
Tako da vidjet ćemo verovatno u drugoj četvrtini ili krajem ovog prvog perioda Pjetlovića u bazenu.
And the first save from Coimbra.
Dobro da je ovakav Fernandez u prvoj četvrtini protiv Barcelonete koju
Another chance for Novi Beograd, maybe for a third over.
vaterpola stigao Novi Beograd. Igrao je
And actually no
danima za Mediterani i Barcelona.
excellent situation. Zahinja Rašović joining the action. Now he has the possession almost halfway through the first quarter. The pass to Alvaro Granados, back to Rašović. Rašović. Lost ball. So still only one single goal. The goal of Nikola Jakšić, which separates the two teams. Larumbe. Biel. Scoring 3 times yesterday. Perrone.
Roger Takulj je sada na mestu
That's a great move. But Coimbra makes the save.
u Barceloni igra 70% španske reprezentacije, ali
What a great chance for Barceloneta to make the equalizer, but in the end, Roger Tahuj couldn't beat the Brazilian goalkeeper. Perković. And the shot goes wide. No touch this time by Aguirre. Aguirre is looking for some help. He finds now Mark Larumbe, who is pushing forward with the ball. Still Larumbe. And Larumbe scores! João Pedro Coimbra beaten for the first time today. And there's the equalizer for Barceloneta. An action goal scored by Mark Larumbe. Was not on the score sheet yesterday, but that's an important goal for the Spaniards. Just inside the last 3 minutes of quarter number 1. All even. Is Fran Fernandez, the veteran player of Barceloneta, born in 1986, just like Felipe Perrone. Drašović. And the lost ball once again, Felipe Perrone grabbing it. Another chance for the Catalans to turn the score. And now it's even a bigger chance after this exclusion. And Duško Pjetlović is out for the first time today. So 6-on-5 situation for Barceloneta. Pavilar had an excellent match yesterday. Fernandez, Perrone. Perrone only hitting the crossbar. So it remains 1-1. 2 minutes to go before the end of the first period. Granados keeping the ball. A tight and strict defensive play by Barceloneta. Five seconds to the shot clock. Drašović, Granados. And the save by Aguirre. Don't forget that Barceloneta conceded the least goals in the group phase. They had an excellent defensive performance in the prelims of the Champions League. At this time, very defensive performances by both teams. Perune gets the call. It's even an exclusion. So Miroslav Perkovic with his first personal foul, the second power play for Barceloneta. Pavilar. Perone. Munariz. Excellent block. Inside the last minute now. Felipe Perune, 6 on 6 now. Still a chance for Barceloneta. Another block. Pavilar. No more power play. Pavilar looking for chance to make an attempt. Perone, one more pass. Famera against three Novi Beograd players. Didn't have a realistic chance to keep the ball. There's the bench of Novi Beograd, including the substitute goalkeeper Radoslav Filipovic. Vlahopoulos. Drašovic. Jakšić. The last 8 seconds of the first quarter. And the block by the Spaniards. One more long distance attempt by the Australian Luke Pavilar. The score remains 1-0. That's the end of the first quarter. That's been an interesting match so far, as expected. So that's the first quarter statistics. 12% shot efficiency for Barceloneta. They had 2 more attempts, 2 attempts more in comparison to Novi Beograd. Only 3 personal fouls, 2 steals by the Spaniards, and some great blocks on both sides. So both teams have managed to clinch the national championship title also this season. But no surprise in Spain. That was gold medal number 23 for Barceloneta. And since 2006, it's been all about Barceloneta in the Spanish national championship. They also clinched the Copa del Rey title, so they won the Spanish Cup. And also dreaming of clinching their second Champions League title. That was a memorable Final Four tournament 9 years ago in the Catalan capital. And after that season, they also managed to win the LEN Super Cup in 2014. As I mentioned, one single loss in the group phase. It was actually at home, 11-5 to Recco. Somewhere at the beginning of the 2022-23 season. But then came 13 wins in a row. They also managed to win in Recco. And they finished ahead of the title holders in the group. So we are heading for the second swim-off. Vasilije Martinovic from Novi Beograd. But the swim-off is won by the Barceloneta number 7, the Australian Luke Pavilar. Larumbe. Pavilar. Pavilar gets the call. It's a free throw. Perune. A low pass to the center forward. And there's the 5-meter penalty. That was a great pass, I should say an excellent pass by Felipe Perune, and Miguel de Toro, the center forward, was fouled. Radomir Drašovic with a personal foul. Perrone, and he scores. His third goal in the final tournament. All in all, it's goal number 38 for
The second goal for Barceloneta.
the captain of the team, Felipe Perrone, who started his career in the team of Barcelona in 2002, more than 2 decades ago. Returned to Barcelona, but this time for Barceloneta in 2017.
Novi Beograd, vidjet ćemo da li su odbrane u pitanju ili malo tu ima problema u napadačkim akcijama.
7 seconds on the shot clock. And now exclusion from Barceloneta. So the extra man advantage for Novi Beograd. Alejandro Bustos is out for 20 seconds. Drašović. Vlahopulos. And the bad pass. Felipe Perrone catching the ball in the air. What a mistake by the Serbs. Remains 2-1 for Barceloneta. And Felipe Perrone is pushing forward now with the ball. And they try to double the lead. Perrone. Important save by Coimbra. Now Angelos Vlahopoulos keeping the ball. Not an easy task to find a teammate. Ademir Drašović also fouled. Back to Vlahopoulos. Vucinic. Vlahopoulos inside the last 10 seconds of this offensive play. Now the block by the Spaniards. And at least another 20 seconds for Novi Beograd. Vlahopoulos. Vucinic. 8 seconds, and Aguirre makes the save. And the Catalan fans are chanting the name of Unai Aguirre, already fan favorite, successor of the great goalkeeper Dani Lopez. And there's an action shot goal. Alberto Munariz also on the score sheet now after 3 unsuccessful attempts. And Barceloneta increased the lead. And this time Coimbra Fernandes could do nothing about that. Goal number 23 for Munariz. Also world champion, of course, after some lost finals in major tournaments. The Spanish national team finally managed to clinch the gold medal at the World Championships last year in Budapest. And the goal is disallowed. So the foul was committed inside the 6-meter line. And this way couldn't shoot directly from this free throw. Actually he could, but it was against the rules. So the goal doesn't count. Six seconds left on the shot clock. And Coimbra Fernandes making the save. That's a free corner throw for Barceloneta. From Fernandez, 37 years of age. Larumbe. And an ordinary foul committed by Skumpakis. Bustos. Another turnover foul. So Rašović, and the Serbs are pushing forward to score and to reduce the gap. Skupakis. And the one-timer. Another block. Excellent defensive play. This time by Felipe Perrone, who made that block. And Perrone now gets the ball from Unai Aguirre. And the Spaniards this time hit the crossbar, but they have the ball after the rebound. Matkovic. Larumbe. Perrone. Back to Larumbe. 2 seconds on the shot clock. And the very last moments of this offensive play, Montenegrin, Dusan Matkovic, somehow finds the back of the net. Well, this time João Pedro Fernandes Coimbra was beaten. Matkovic, a new signing of last summer for Barceloneta, with goal number 4, and Živko Gocic called for the timeout. ...40 years of age, Živko Gocic, also former excellent player. He was the head coach of Hungarian team Szolnok between 2018 and 2022. Signed for Novi Beograd last summer. As a player, he played in Russia, Dynamo Moscow. Also in Italy, in the team of Latina. Also in Szolnok. And he won actually the Champions League title with Szolnok in 2017. Former Olympic champion with the Serbian national team. But his team is now in real trouble. They are trailing by 3 goals. Vlahopoulos. Jakšić. Vlahopoulos. They need a goal. They desperately need a goal now. But after this one-timer, the Spaniards making another block. Well, Novi Beograd, one of the top teams of Europe, and they only managed to score once. So all credit to the defensive play of Barceloneta once again. Fernandez. And it's even an exclusion from Novi Beograd, so a chance to take a 4-goal lead for the first time for Barceloneta, and national team between 2013 and 2021. 2 years ago he signed for Barceloneta. Last year they couldn't make it to the semi-final against Recco. This time they are pretty close to their second ever Champions League final. The shot clock has run down. Not a single attempt in this power play, so Elvis Svatovic can be satisfied with that. Despite that timeout call, that was not a good power play. Rašović. Still Rašović. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Rašović, and after his deflection, a pretty lucky goal for Novi Beograd, but they desperately needed that. Goal number 2 for the Serbs. Well, let's check this once again. Strahinja Rašović
Second goal
has
for
to
Novi
make the
Beograd,
attempt,
goal
and
number 2,
deflection.
Rašović Strahinja.
Alberto Munaris touched the ball, and this way it was mission impossible for Unai Aguirre to save. Rašović on the score sheet now, his first goal today, so only Nikola Jakšić and Strahinja Rašović, the goal scorers of Novi Beograd. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go before half-time. Perune. Pavilar. Munaris. Pavilar. Now we are heading for the last 2 minutes. This quarter, another pass from Perune.
Penalty shot for Barceloneta.
And another 5-meter penalty for Barceloneta. So the penalty foul was committed by Dimitrios Skoumpakis. The Serbian crowd don't like it, but another chance for Alberto Munaris to score, and he does it. Just like Perune, he finds the back of the net from the spot, and Barceloneta regain the 3-goal lead.
Fifth goal for Barceloneta, player number 4, Alberto.
So that's goal number 2 for Alberto Munaris. He's the only player in the field who has managed to score more than once, and here's Elvis Fatovic. His son Loren, of course, seriously injured, and that's why he's missing from this final tournament. And Jug desperately missing him, of course, just like Krujic. Exclusion from Barceloneta.
Exclusion for Barceloneta.
So
player number
Martin
7,
Famera is out now, his first personal foul. Another really important 6-on-5 situation for Novi Beograd. Rašović. And there's the missed chance. Now, no more power play, but another 20 seconds at least for the Serbs. Vlahopoulos. Rašović. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Vlahopoulos. And the ball is inside somehow. Dimitrios Skoumpakis. Well, Unai Aguirre almost managed to make the save, but just almost. It was a tight angle. But in the end, goal number 3 for Novi Beograd.
player number 11, Skoumpakis Dimitris.
That was the Greeks' first attempt today. Yesterday he was not on the score sheet against Olympiacos. Now the last minute of the second quarter. Perune. Larumber. An exclusion this time from Novi Beograd.
Exclusion for Novi Beograd,
Pavilar.
player number 8, Jakšić Nikolić.
Perune. Larumbe. Pavilar. And Australia made the attempt. That's a great block by the Serbs. And a chance for them to reduce the gap. The last 30 seconds before half-time. Another exclusion. Luke Pavilar.
Exclusion for Barceloneta, player number 7.
That's a silly foul, I can tell you, but that means 6-on-5 situation for Novi Beograd. Vlahopoulos. Rašović. And fantastic save in the end. That's the end of quarter number 2. So it was 1-all after the first quarter, and Barceloneta managed to win the second period by 4-1. Here's the halftime statistics. So only 21% shot efficiency for Novi Beograd, 31% for Barceloneta. One action shot goal respectively. Ten personal fouls in total, 2 steals by the Spaniards and 9 block shots. And at the moment, the top scorer of the match, Alberto Munariz from Barceloneta, who has managed to score twice. So as I mentioned, the Barceloneta retained the title once again in the Spanish National Championship, just like Novi Beograd in the Serbian National Championship. They beat Red Star Belgrade, so Crvena Zvezda, 2-0 on aggregate in the final. In the second match, it was 14-7 in favor of Novi Beograd, and Alvaro Granados, the former Barcelona player, scored 10 times, would you believe or not. So he was absolutely the hero of that match. Novi Beograd also won the regional league last year. This time it was Juk Dubrovnik who finished first, and Novi Beograd finished as bronze medalist. It's a pretty young club. It was founded a couple of years ago, and they entered the Champions League final 8 actually only last year. That was the first occasion that they were here present in the final 8, and for the first occasion they already managed to go through to the final, and they lost to Prorecco in the penalty shootout. So Mr. Udovicic also on the stands, of course. Legendary coaches, legendary players, legendary figures of water polo, all interested in this great final tournament in the April 11th pool. We could see Ivica Tucak, the head coach of the Croatian national team, in the previous match. So there are world and Olympic and European champions on the stands in every match. That's real water polo feeling here. So the swim-off, the third swim-off, is won by the Spaniards. Martin Famera reached the ball first. Perune. Matkovic. 2-goal lead for Barceloneta. And that's a fantastic steal. George Vucinic stole the ball from the Spaniards, and it's even an exclusion from Barceloneta. So now that's a 6-on-5 situation for Novi Beograd. Miguel de Toro is out. That's his first personal foul. Vlahopoulos. And that's a great power play. Well, Angelos Vlahopoulos was waiting for the perfect moment. And actually it came. Duško Pijetlović also on the score sheet now. Another veteran of international water polo, 4-time Champions League winner, Duško Pijetlović, won his first title with Partizan 12 years ago, and 2 more titles with Recco, and in between also with Red Star Belgrade in 2013. Duško Pijetlović, who's really fantastic the last couple of decades, I should say, in international water polo.
Savo Četković je van ekipe.
Also won the LAN Euro Cup with Solnok.
I nameštena je, pretpostavljam, oprema. Perone tu ima odvezanu kapicu.
So, after being down by 5-2, now the Serbs are only trailing by 1 goal. Larumbe. Munariz. Larumbe. Perone. And that's a turnover foul. Now the Serbs are pushing forward to make an equalizer. They try to score 3 times in succession. Granados. Lahopoulos. And turnover foul once again, but this time committed by the Serbs. Larumbe. No goals so far by the Spaniards in the third quarter. They haven't scored for a while now. Larumbe. Matkovic. Perone. And that was a risky pass from Felipe Perone. He couldn't find Tahu in the center forward position. So it remains 5-4. Another attempt by the Serbs to level the score. Lahopoulos. And Nikola Jašić tried to beat Unai Aguirre, but he missed the target. Munariz. Felipe Perone. That's a free throw. Perone. Back to Alberto Munariz. He's the crossbar. And the Serbs have the possession. So I have to check when the Spaniards scored the last goal. That was actually 2 minutes before the end of quarter number 2. So 5 minutes without a single goal, and now they are conceding. And there's the equalizer. So 3 goals in succession by Novi Beograd. And that was a fantastic goal. Actually an action shot goal.
5th goal for Novi Beograd, player number 7, Radomir Drašović.
So Radomir Drašović finally in the score sheet. Attempt number 4. But how about that? Goal number 27 in this Champions League season. Bavilar. Perone, and the exclusion foul in the middle.
Exclusion for Novi Beograd, player number 11, Skoupakis Dimitrios.
So Dimitrios Skoupakis is out for 20 seconds for the second time today. The first Serbian player who is on the edge of ejection. Just an ordinary foul. Free throw for Barceloneta. And that's the end of this foul play. Another missed chance by the team of Alis Fatovic. Lahopoulos. Granados. Really have the opportunity to celebrate against his former teammates. That's a one-timer, blocked by the Spaniards, and they have the possession. Aguirre. 5 goals apiece. And Luke Pavilar pushing forward. Biel. And Coimbra Fernandez making the save. Still 5-all. 2 goals coming from Novi Beograd in the third quarter. They haven't conceded at all in this period. All improving defensive performance by the Serbs. Granados. Vlahopoulos. Exclusion. Foul by Felipe Perrone. That's his first personal foul. Vucinic. Granados. Vlahopoulos. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Vucinic. Granados. Excellent finish, and Novi Beograd turns the score. After being down by 5 goals to 2, now they have the lead, 6-5. And the man who scored 5 times yesterday against Juk Dubrovnik, actually against Olympiacos, of course, now scores his first, but it's goal number 41 in total in this Champions League season. Larumbe. So the Spaniards need to improve in this offensive performance. Exclusion.
Exclusion from Novi Beograd, player number 3,
Vasilije Martinovic is out. It took a while until the Spaniards got in front of the Serbian goal, so they don't have too much time to finish this attack. And that's a 5-meter penalty.
Penalty shot for Novi Beograd.
So penalty number 3 for Barceloneta. And it was Strahinja Rašović who committed this foul. Another chance for Mark Larumbe to score. Perrone and Munari scored from the spot, and Mark Larumbe also finds the back of the net, and that's the equalizer for Barceloneta.
Sixth goal for Barceloneta, player number 6, Larumbe Mark.
So they had an almost 8-minute goalless period. Vlahopoulos. That's another exclusion.
Exclusion Barceloneta, player number 12.
So the number 12, Alejandro Bustos, has to be out. Now the 6-on-5 situation for Novi Beograd, the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. Vlahopoulos. One more pass, Vlahopoulos gets it back, and another great finish. And once again, Duško Pijetlović from the center forward position. 7-6 for Novi Beograd. They regain the lead. Another great assist by Angelos Vlahopoulos.
7 goal for Novi Beograd, player number 6, Duško Pijetlović.
Here he is the 2-time Olympic champion, the 2-time world champion, 4-time European champion Duško Pijetlović. Former teammate of Živko Gocic, the national team. So 7-6. Pavilar. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Larumbe. No foul this time on the center forward. Excellent defensive play by the Serbs. Actually, Roger Tahoe didn't have a realistic chance against 3 Novi Beograd players. Rašović. Great block by Larumbe, but another 20 seconds for Novi Beograd. 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. Another turnover foul. So one more chance for Barceloneta in this period to level the score. Unai Biel. Turnover four once again. So 28 seconds to go, and now the possession goes to Novi Beograd. Angelos Vlahopoulos keeping the ball. Still Vlahopoulos, they still have time. 50 seconds on the clock. Vlahopoulos, Drašović. And the missed chance for Novi Beograd. Aguirre, the long distance shot. So that's been a really interesting third period. Novi Beograd scoring 4 times and conceding only once. So at halftime, remember, it was 5-3 for Barceloneta, night 7-6 for the host team. That's the third quarter statistics. Not a big difference in the shot efficiencies. 28% for Barceloneta, 31% for Novi Beograd. Total of 16 personal fouls. 3 steals by the Serbs. So 2 more top matches are still to come today here from the April 11th pool. This match will be followed by the classification match for the 5th to 8th places between Brescia and Ferencvaros, starting at 6:30. And the last match will be the second semi-final, starting at 8 local time. The surprise team of this season, the Greek silver medalists, Viameni, will play against the title holder Prodeco. Prodeco will try to clinch their 11th title in their history, and the third one in succession. Only one team have managed to win the title 3 times in succession. It was Mlado Zagreb between 1968 and 1970. And actually, from the 8 teams in the field in this final tournament, there are only 3 clubs that have never managed to win the gold medal at the Champions League. One of them is Novi Beograd, but they are hungry for their historic first win. See, they were so close against Prodeco. They have a narrow lead right before the last quarter against Barceloneta. Now the last swim off. And Martin Famera reached the ball first. So the first possession goes to the Spaniards. And actually they've won the sprints by 3-1. And immediately the first exclusion. Nikola Jakšić is out. His second personal foul. And a chance to make an equalizer for Barceloneta. Munaris. And the 2-meter interruption. So the possession goes to Novi Beograd. But a mistake by the Spaniards in this really crucial situation. Rašović. Vucinic.
traži loptu tamo Alvaro Granados. Koji je postavljen na mjesto centra protiv Munariza. Stiže pomoć spoljnih igrača.
Vlahopoulos.
Svog beka. Morat će malo da priđu sada šuteri Novog Beograda. Jer to je jedini način.
That's a risky pass, but they saved the ball, and in the end, Vucinic made the attempt.
Othranjuje Agire.
Aguirre performed the save, still 7-6.
Voli Barcelonete. Već u redovima protivnika Barcelona. Igra je, rekao si mi, za Mediteran.
Larumbe.
Golman koji je budućnosti španske reprezentacije.
Munariz. Back to Marc Larumbe. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And the one-timer. What a goal by Alberto Munariz. Well, that's been a cracker. Munariz with goal number 7 for Barceloneta. And this time, João Coimbra Fernandes could do nothing about that.
7 goals for Barceloneta.
Slight touch by the Brazilian goalkeeper that didn't turn to be enough to make the save. So now Munariz with goal number 3 to his name out of 8 attempts. And the Catalan supporters are still hoping for a place in the final. They will be here for sure also on Saturday, but the question is in the bronze medal match or in the gold medal match. Exclusion. Extra man advantage in favor of Novi Beograd. Score is 7-all. Almost 2 minutes gone in the last quarter. Vlahopoulos. Actually, Martin Famer is out, and they only managed to hit the crossbar. And the Spaniards have the ball after the rebound. Now they have the chance to regain the lead. Remember, they had a 5-2 lead. They still led by 5-3 at half-time. And then the Serbs turned the score. Perrone. Larumbe. An exclusion, this time from Novi Beograd.
Exclusion from Novi Beograd.
And it's the number 5 from the home team, Đorđe Vucinic, with his first personal foul. 7 seconds on the shot clock. And they also hit the crossbar. That's a missed power play, that's for sure. Now 6 on 6 already, but the Spaniards still have the possession. Perrone. Munariz. Larumbe. 5 seconds, now only 4 on the shot clock. And the lob shot. And the post saves Novi Beograd this time, still 7-all. Novi Beograd yet to score in the last quarter. Two fantastic teams and the best match so far in the tournament, I can tell you. No question about that. Rašović. Block shot. And once again, an all-improving defensive performance by the Spaniards. And we are almost at the midpoint of the last quarter. That's a fast break chance for Barceloneta. One more pass and they score. Felipe Perrone makes it 8-7. Perrone scored from the spot in the first quarter. He converted one of the penalties for Barceloneta. Now that's a fast break goal. The pass comes from Martin Famera, and Perrone with this really cool finish. Goal number 42 in the whole tournament. 8-7. So we haven't seen any penalty shootouts so far in this tournament. I can imagine that these two teams will finish the same number of goals in the end in regular time. But now a great block by the Spaniards. But Novi Beograd still have the possession. Another 20 seconds. Vlahopoulos. Granados. Back to the captain, Vlahopoulos. Now the exclusion. So the number 12, Alejandro Bustos, is out of the match. There's the first final exclusion today. He won't be allowed to return to the pool, Alejandro Bustos. Vlahopoulos. And Vlahopoulos scores. Goals from the captains. Now from Angelos Vlahopoulos. Well, Aguirre almost managed to make the save. But in the end, Vlahopoulos with goal number 8 for Novi Beograd. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. That was actually goal number 1 for Novi Beograd in the last quarter. Živko Gocic, also excited on the bench, but who is not excited here in the April 11th pool? Tension, passion and everything here surrounding water polo in this great semi-final. Larumbe with the one-timer. There was a slight touch by João Pedro Fernandes Coimbra, so that's a corner throw. Perrone. Pavilar has been really quiet so far in this match, unlike yesterday. And now the exclusion foul. Tahul was fouled, and now the 6-on-5 situation for Barceloneta. George Vucinic is out for 20 seconds. His second personal foul. Perrone. Pavilar. They only managed to hit the crossbar, but they have the rebound. And no call this time. Well, the Spaniards are complaining about that, but the center forward didn't manage to possess the ball. Now we are inside the last 2 minutes. It's 8-all between Barceloneta and Novi Beograd. Vlahopoulos. Exclusion. The foul on Nikola Jakšić. And the Australian Luke Pavilar is out for the second time. What a chance for Novi Beograd to regain the lead. Vlahopoulos. Skoupakis back to Vlahopoulos. And Aguirre. What a save by the young goalkeeper. 20 years of age, Unai Aguirre, who could be the hero of Barceloneta. Amazing save, and the ball was not inside. Now the last minute of the game. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Larumbe. They are pretty far away from the goal. One last attempt, and the score remains 8-all. And Živko Gocic calls for a timeout.
Timeout for Novi Beograd.
Really do-or-die clash between these excellent teams of Europe, Barceloneta and Novi Beograd. Remember that dramatic match last year in the final between Novi Beograd and Pureco. This is a similar match with fantastic defensive performances on both sides and some spectacular goals as well. Now also regarding the goalkeepers, Unai Aguirre and João Pedro Fernandes Coimbra performing some brilliant saves. So that's water polo on the highest level. But the Serbian fans are hoping for another final participation for the team. Now, 45 seconds to go. Novi Beograd have the possession. Very tight defensive play by Barceloneta. Vlahopoulos keeping the ball. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Still Angelos Vlahopoulos. And the Spaniards thought they had the possession, but that's a free throw and also an exclusion. So Martin Famera is out. There's a chance to score the decider for Novi Beograd. A 6-on-5 situation. Vlahopoulos. Granados. Fantastic block by the Spaniards. Still 5 seconds to go. Granados. Maybe one more attempt. And Vlahopoulos hitting the crossbar. And the match goes to the penalty shootout. No winners so far. 8-all in regular time. And somehow Barceloneta managed to survive. Excellent defensive play. Kiss from the goalkeeper Unai Aguirre. One is for sure, Martin Famera and Alejandro Bustos won't have the chance to shoot from the penalty spot. Both have been excluded from the game, so 5 shooters from both teams. And the penalty shootout will decide about the participation in the final. Last year in the big final, in the gold medal match, Novi Beograd lost to Prodeco in the shootout. So it couldn't be more exciting than that. The first penalty shootout in the tournament. Yesterday, Barceloneta defeated Duke by 2 goals. Novi Beograd Olympiacos also by 2 goals. Vujameni overcame Brescia by 1 single goal, and Prodeco defeated Ferencváros by 4-goal margin. Today, Jug were defeated by Olympiacos at 14 goals to 5, but now it's Barceloneta 8, Novi Beograd 8 after regular time. That's the full-time statistics. 30% shot efficiency for the Spaniards, 26% for Novi Beograd. Plenty of missed chances from the power plays, but all credit to the defensive plays of the teams, of course. Total of 23 personal fouls. And in the end, Alberto Mudar is the top scorer of the match. He had a total of 10 attempts, and in the end he managed to beat João Coimbra 3 times. 2 goals from Larumbe and Felipe Pereira, the captain. On the other side, 2 goals from Duško Pijetlović. And Dušan Mandić also interested in the Final 8 tournament, of course. So can they make it once again to the final, Novi Beograd? And what about Barceloneta? They were final participants on home soil 9 years ago in Barcelona, and they went on to clinch the gold medal. And for the second time they are in the final. They could be in the final. At first they had to beat Novi Beograd in the penalty shootout. So, who's going to be the hero of this match? Unai Aguirre or João Pedro Fernandes Coimbra? 2 young goalkeepers. Aguirre born in 2002. The Brazilian in the year of 2000. Now, the first shot coming from the Barceloneta captain, Felipe Perrone, who converted the penalty in the first quarter.
Sa linije 5 metara. 8-8, regularni deo meča. Govorit ću vam sada rezultat u penal seriji.
And Perrone scores also this time. 1-0 for Barceloneta. No chance at all for Coimbra. And now the first shooter of Novi Beograd. And it's gonna be Radomir Drašović against Unai Aguirre. And Drašović scores. 1 goal apiece. That's a very comfortable conversion of penalty. And this time Munariz misses the target. He only manages to hit the crossbar.
Evo promašaja španskog prvaka u ovom polufinalu.
So it remains 1-1, in total 9-0. And the second shooter from Novi Beograd, and it's Alvaro Granados, the man who missed the last and crucial penalty for Spain against Hungary in the European Championship final 3 years ago, but this time didn't make a mistake. So Marc Larumbe, the third shooter of Barceloneta. He desperately need the goal now. Novi Beograd have the lead, and nice equalizer, but we still have the third Novi Beograd shooter, and it's gonna be Strahinja Rašović. And Rašović scores 3-2 after the first series. 2 more shooters to come from both sides, and 1 goal lead for Novi Beograd. And a substitution in front of the goal. Radoslav Filipovic in the goal. And Australian Luke Pavila tries to beat him. Couldn't manage to do that. Luke Pavilar hitting the post, and Novi Beograd are so close to their second final participation in the Champions League. So in case of another goal, if Vlahopoulos manages to score, Novi Beograd are in the final, and he scores! And that's it. The host team once again in the gold medal match. So, on Saturday, Novi Beograd will play for the gold medal. Angelos Vlahopoulos didn't miss the target. 2 misses from Barceloneta, and that turned to be crucial. Officially, Novi Beograd 12, Barceloneta 10, including the goals from the penalty shootout. So incredibly, Barceloneta only lost 1 single match in the whole season of the Champions League, but they are not in the final in regular time. They won 13 out of 14 matches in the group stage. They won the quarterfinal yesterday. This time it was a draw in regular time, but they lost in the penalty shootouts. What a match it has been. 2 fantastic teams, a very narrow gap between these two. So Novi Beograd in the gold medal match on Saturday. Barceloneta will play for the bronze medal. And of course we'll be back with the match Brescia against Ferencváros. The classification for the places 5th to 8th, starting at 6:30 p.m. local time. See you then.